In today's mental health check, take a look around your space. Do you feel overwhelmed by all of your stuff? Perhaps there are some things that you should have thrown out years ago. Experts say clutter can have a negative impact, actually, on our mental health. And sometimes getting rid of what you don't need can feel very impossible. So joining us now is clinical psychologist Jennifer Hartstein and Alicia Barker, the president of Organizers Direct Industries. Ladies, thank you both for being here. Alicia, I want to start with you. We all have stuff. I could use another word. We all have stuff. Exactly. And I actually just went through this last summer. We downsized a bit, and so we had to declutter. But when does it become clutter? Like, at what level is it too much?
Right. I think it's a little different for everybody, but most Americans follow that 80-20 rule. So we really only use about 20% of all of the stuff that we have.
We don't use 80%.
We don't use 80%. So the goal is figuring out what that 80% is and then trying to get rid of that.
Why do we hold on to things so long, Jen? What's the psychology? Are there emotional attachments?
There are. You know, I think there's a lot of different attachments. One is the memory that it might bring to us. One might be that kind of scarcity mindset of, but if I get rid of it and then I need it, then what? You know, and then some people keep it because like, well, maybe I'll use it, maybe someday. So there is this sense of like, do I really need this? And can I have that hard conversation with myself and let it go?
And it really can have an impact on your mental health. Yes. To have too much clutter, but also if you get rid of it, if you spring clean, doesn't that have a positive impact on your mental health?
100%, right? A cluttered space and a cluttered mind go hand in hand, right? So if we clean our space, it clears our mind, it opens things up, it alleviates anxiety, it helps relationships because we're not fighting about the clutter, it builds connection. Yeah. So there's so much positive ability in the decluttering, but it's being able to say, I really don't need it and let it go.
I can't be the only person that at a difficult time in my life, I literally will like clean a closet or, you know, organize something. Where do we start? How do we identify the things, the 80% that we can get rid of?
So a good rule of thumb is if I look at it and say, would I buy this again? Would I buy this today? Because I might have bought it 10 years ago, but is it the same? So that's a good rule of thumb. Take that 5-second rule. Your instinct is going to tell you whether or not you can get rid of it. As far as the sentimental, there are memories and things that you hold sentimental. I like to take photos of that and then make an album of it.
Right, and then you don't need the actual like dress that you wore to your sister's wedding, which I just got rid of. Yes. Sorry, I just said that out loud. My sisters might be watching. Once you've cleared things out, then how do you organize? Like, where do you start? Because that can feel overwhelming too.
It does. So you need to start small. It's a Herculean task if you think that you have to improve your whole home at the same time. So just take one drawer, one shelf, one vanity countertop, something like that.
And I've heard you say visible areas, places that make you feel, I need to do that.
Exactly, because it's a reminder every time you walk in. But it's really important to have a place for everything. And because you're always going to know, you don't have to make that decision every time you pick something up. Where's this going to go?
What if it feels like too much? I don't know if either of you want to answer that. Like,
I mean,
overwhelming.
Change is overwhelming, right? I mean, change requires planning and kind of organizing and commitment. So I think change is overwhelming. When we are organizing, we are creating change. That's kind of fundamentally what we're doing. So starting small, we've talked at different times about what change is like. Starting small is where we have to do it. So creating the long-term goal and starting with the base, like the bite-sized pieces.
Is it really about having to have all the containers? I just need to ask, right? Because everybody's always like promoting, like, get the boxes and the clear plastic bins. Is that part of it?
You know, I don't think so. It helps, obviously, but what people tend to do is they get all those containers and the drawer dividers and all the little things, but they don't actually declutter.
Right, so they just throw everything.
They keep all that, and then, so it's just organized clutter is what it is.
Yeah, and Jen, I know sometimes it can cross a line, right, and become something that is problematic to have too much stuff, too many things cluttering your house, even hoarding, for example. When does it cross into that?
So I think, you know, to Alicia's point from earlier, it's really important to remember that all three of us are going to have different levels of kind of acceptance in that space. But when it becomes dangerous, unhealthy, maybe there's little vermin or creatures crawling around in it, you know, or it's just really unhygienic, we have to stop and think about where there has really become a problem. And I think that's often what happens, especially with hoarding, right? It becomes a really scary space to be in.
Alicia, just one, we don't have a lot of time, but like a quick one tip to get started.
the one in, one out. So every time you bring something in.
Oh, yeah,
get
take
rid of
something out. So
something.
you buy a new shirt, you take another shirt out.
Exactly. Makes you think about that purchase.
Love it. Jennifer Hartstein and Alicia Barker with us. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate you guys.
Thanks.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
weekend. There is much more news ahead. You're watching NBC News Daily.